Divorced Dad Diaries, day 110 and 111.
And I went to the doctors for the first time in 4 years. The last time I went to the doctor would have actually been before my vasectomy, potentially after. That's a whole nother story for another day. But if you cast your mind back, I think it was about a month, maybe 6 weeks, I finally got myself enrolled in a doctor here in Rolleston. So I'd actually dropped off my forms and I hadn't heard anything. So I gave them a call and was just like, what's happening? And they told me that, there was some issues because I had effectively dropped everything off as a family unit with me, my ex-wife and the kids. And they were like, we can't combine you as a family unit because you're not together. But they had just forgotten to call me and tell me about it. So I was like, that's fine, just enroll the kids under her, put me as myself, and we can worry about the details later. She goes to the doctor more than I do, so it just kind of made sense at the time. And then only a couple of hours later, they got back to me and said, you're all enrolled now, but before you can see a doctor, you have to go in and have like a nurse visitation.
So I booked that in and I went, but that was a bit odd. So you turn up, they teach you how to take your blood pressure, here are the toilets, ask you about your problems, but I'm like, I've got these problems, but I have to see a doctor, not a nurse. And then they charge you $40. And I was like, I feel like I just paid $40 for a meeting that could have been an email. In saying that, they did take my height and they said I was 170 centimetres. Which actually puts me at 5'7". So I've been lying to everyone that I was 5'6", and I'm actually 5'7". I grew a whole inch. I grew a whole inch on my height. I grew a whole inch upwards.
But I booked that doctor's appointment, had it today, took my blood pressure like myself, because I'm a big boy. It was like 100/60 or something like that. I don't know anything about blood pressure. I don't know what the numbers mean. I just know that it's nothing to be concerned about. But particularly, I wanted to talk to the doctor because my mum has hemochromatosis. There needs to be like an effect where the word comes in and it's like a big fancy word, like a word art or something, and then maybe it pops and it's big, and then I put a rainbow behind it, like a reference to SpongeBob. If you don't know what hemochromatosis is, it's the problem with getting rid of the iron in your blood, more or less. I think that's a simple way to put it. Effectively, over time, you have too much iron until eventually you become like Iron Man. You die. Too much iron will just, like any too much chemical in your body, will poison your organs and cause organ failure. But it's easy to manage because you just have to bleed every now and then. Which, funnily enough, is a lot easier to do if you're a woman. But for me, I need to know because I might need to go and give blood once a month. So he just sent me away to get a blood test, did a blood count, serotonin test or something like that. Again, not a medical professional. But man, what is up with doctors' prices? It was like $60 to go to the doctor. I used to have a community services card, so I didn't realise it's gotten that expensive. And then I also paid to get the blood test done at the doctor. I could have gone to a free clinic, but then I would have had to have driven half an hour into the city, and I don't want to do that. I'll just pay the $20 for the convenience, but still, it was like $80. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to have to wait to get those results. Hemochromatosis is genetic, so you have to get a genetic test done, I think, to figure out if you actually have it. But both your parents have to be carriers of the gene in order to receive the gene. Both my parents, my ancestry on both sides is from the British Isles. I guess you could say I'm of whakapapa ma. So while my dad hasn't been diagnosed, there's always a chance, and better off to find out because I'd rather find out now than find out 20 years down the line.
But of course, that's one less thing on my to-do list, and I rewarded myself with a little bit of a treat for lunch on the way home, and I will catch you on the flip side.